The Warm-Up will be giving you everything you need to know about the high school football season. We'll be analyzing the biggest games of the week around the Metroplex, from Highland Park to Brock, seeing who the players to watch are, and so much more. This show will be giving you a warm-up of what you'll be seeing on the Wingstop Inside High School Sports Show on NBC5 at 5 p.m., hosted by Pat Doney. To kick us off on episode 1, I caught up with Dallas Morning News high school football writer Michael Floreck, and he gave us his insight on some of the biggest games of the week. We're going to kick it off. It's going to be Rockwall, Highland Park. So, you know, Highland Park is in the post-Jones era. What do you see, or what do you think is going to happen in this first game against Rockwall, and kind of how do you see this game going?
Yeah, this is the third time these two teams have played, and 2 years ago it was John Stephen Jones' coming out party, and this year the focus is going to be on Chandler Morris and just kind of what he can bring at quarterback there. Obviously the son of Arkansas coach Chad Morris. And yeah, so I think all eyes will be on him, and it's at Highland Park. Randy Allen is 95-1 at home in his 19 years at Highland Park, so you would assume that they would have the advantage, but Rockwall's pretty stacked, especially offensively. Quarterback Jacob Clark is committed to Minnesota, and Highland Park has a lot of questions. They got a lot of defensive questions, they got a lot of offensive questions, but they had those questions last year, and they were able to do it again, so we'll see what happens.
Our next big game of the week is Mesquite Horn at Allen. Allen's coming off another state championship, and they're at home on top of that. So what is Mesquite Horn going to have to do to win this game, and what are you expecting to see from the Allen Eagles? Yeah,
it's going to be tough for Horn. Allen's #1 in the state. I think Horn has one of the most underrated players, at least in my eyes, in quarterback Jermaine Given. So he is going to need a spectacular performance just to keep Horn in there in the game, especially probably late. And Allen, it will just be a question of how much that sort of goes to their head, and can they sort of keep that level head, and a lot of talent, but just a question of can they do it again, and can they keep it going there?
Another big matchup is Aledo at Denton Guyer. You know, Aledo, title town as we know them here in the Metroplex, but Denton Guyer has a really young quarterback, a sophomore quarterback. What do you see with him coming in to take the helm?
Yeah, Eli Stowers, a lot of hype around him. He's got all the physical tools, so the question is what can he do against this Aledo team who's lost in the state championship last year, but 17 starters back. So his first test is going to be a crucial one, probably for his confidence, for his development this year. So a lot to look for, just kind of subtextually there. South
Lake Carroll at South Grand Prairie. South Lake Carroll has a new head coach, a first-time head coach in Riley Dodge. What are you expecting from Dodge this season?
Yeah, youngest 11-man coach in the state there, so just a question of how quick he can go. He obviously former South Lake star, so obviously knows the environment, knows what he's getting into, put on one heck of a presentation for the board there, and that's how he ended up with the job. So it looks like he's got him going, but it will obviously be an adjustment. So we'll see how quick he can get those pieces in place and how quick he can really mold this South Lake Carroll team into what he wants and his style there.
Our last big game of the week, Lancaster at Duncanville. Duncanville went undefeated in the regular season, and they lost to Trinity in the playoffs. Are they playing the 2018 season with a chip on their shoulders?
I would say so. 2 years ago, they gave Allen one heck of a game in the playoffs. Last year, I think a lot was expected of them. Lost to Euless Trinity there, but Euless Trinity obviously a good team, but I think they went out earlier than they expected. They expected to be a state title contender, so you have a whole new quarterback there, Jaquindon Jackson, who's one of those guys like Eli Stowers, a young guy, but a lot of hype around him. And then you have just a defense that should be one of the best in the area. So they have a lot to prove, and yeah, Lancaster has a lot to prove as well, missed the playoffs last year. So two teams really trying to make a statement early on.
My last question. Who do you think will be the 2018 surprise team of the DFW Metroplex?
I like Arlington Bowie. I think not a lot of people talking about them, not a lot of people kind of have them on their radar, but Ty DeArmond and Malcolm Mays, their quarterback there. DeArmond's committed to Arizona State. They have a lot of talent coming back. That offense should be humming. So if the defense can get there and if they can fill those holes, I think they have a shot to compete for the district title.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, and amazing insight into this 2018 season and our big games of the week.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Good stuff there from Michael. Just a slew of amazing games this week, and it all starts tonight. Now, last week on Inside High School Sports, we showed you 10 of the top players to watch. We couldn't get all the best players in there because we ran out of time. That's why today we'll look at 5 more guys who should have big seasons this year. Let's start at the running back position, and South Lake Carroll's bruiser, TJ McDaniel. The senior rushed for over 1,800 yards and 23 touchdowns for the Dragons last year. He's one of the rare backs who likes the contact, but can also use his 4.5 speed to break free after getting hit. He rushed for over 200 yards in 5 games last year, so he knows how to carry the load. McDaniel is verbally committed to SMU. Staying in the backfield, Aleto's Jace McClellan has had all eyes on him since he was a freshman. Despite missing 7 games due to injury, McClellan rushed for 1,600 yards and 28 touchdowns. As a junior this year, he will remain the focal point of the Bearcat offense as he looks to lead Aledo back to the state championship game. McClellan likes to take the ball outside until he sees that hole, and then it's lights out. McClellan verbally committed to Oklahoma before his sophomore season. A running back with all the pedigree is Jesuit tailback E.J. Smith. The son of Cowboys legend Emmitt Smith, E.J. possesses some of his daddy's moves, elusive and shifty. E.J. had a breakout sophomore season last year as he ran for over 1,800 yards and 33 touchdowns. More of the same is expected from Smith this year as the Rangers head into a new district with state favorite Allen. Mesquite Poteet head coach Cody Groves calls running back Seth McGowan the best kid he's ever coached. And McGowan is just a junior. In only 6 games last year, McGowan rushed for 1,100 yards and 15 scores. The Pirates are hoping McGowan helps them bounce back from a disappointing 6-6 season. And finally, at state favorite Duncanville, a lot will be riding on the young arm and legs of Jaquindon Jackson. Jackson is a special athlete, and Panther head coach Reginald Samples will let the offense run through him as he'll be the quarterback full-time. Jackson is one of North Texas's most dynamic athletes, and if his passing ability catches up to his running ability, Duncanville could be looking for a deep December run. Also, how did Odie Wyatt beat the Heat after a practice in the triple digits? We have the story this Saturday. Wingstop Inside High School Sports will be on this Saturday at a special time. That's right, 5 p.m. on NBC5. If you want to stay up to the minute on these games or players before Saturday, you can follow our social media accounts on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next week, I'm Ashley Bullington, and thanks for being a part of the Warmup.